Welcome, my friends, to Williamson County, Tennessee, a place where top-rated schools and a family-friendly community make it a great place to raise kids. Now, if you're moving here from out of state, you're probably curious what a typical school year looks like, right? Well, you're in luck, because in today's video, I'm gonna break it all down for you. That way you don't have to spend hours and hours agonizing over this anymore. And a spoiler alert, it's not really as exciting as it sounds. So let's just start off with the basics. I'm gonna use the school calendar for the 2025 and 26 school year for these dates. So just know that they could fluctuate a little bit from year to year. First through 12th grade is gonna start on Monday, August 4th with a half day. It's kind of unfortunate for us parents because you've had these kids all summer, you're so ready to get rid of them, they go into school and you gotta get them a couple hours later. It's like a teaser, right? And you're like, But have no fear, because on Tuesday, August 5th, they go back full time and you get the house to yourself. So that's gonna be grades 1 through 12. If you have a kindergartner, they're gonna be hanging out around your house for another week until August 11th, and then they're gonna start school full time. As far as the end date of school, that's gonna be May 21st, and that's also gonna be a half day. So that's gonna be a total of 177 instructional days split into 2 semesters. The first semester is gonna be from August through December, and then the second semester will be from January through May. It's a very well-balanced schedule with plenty of learning and breaks for the kids. Speaking of breaks, let's talk about those glorious days that your kids are home all day asking you what's for lunch starting at 9:30 in the morning. Here's what you can look forward to when it comes to breaks. In the fall, from October 6th to October 10th, we have what's called fall break. Now keep in mind, there's also a weekend on the front end of that and a weekend on the back end of that. So it's really like October 4th to October 12th. It's a long time. Here in Tennessee, a lot of people will pack up and head down to Florida because the weather's like perfect in October. However, if you're new to Tennessee, you're probably gonna really love the fall weather here in Tennessee, and you might just wanna hang out here during that break. It's really just personal preference. Your next break is gonna be Thanksgiving, and that's gonna be from November 24th to November 28th. And keep in mind, that doesn't include the weekends as well. Usually for us, this is a time that we like to hang out with family here around the house and just kind of veg out and enjoy once again that beautiful fall weather. Next up, we've got a pretty big break, and this is called winter break. And this is gonna go from December 19th all the way to January 2nd. So kids are gonna be home for a while now, and I'll admit, these breaks do feel like they're just like one after another, because you've got a long break in October, you've got a break in November, and then in December, they've got their winter break. But I've really learned to love it. The kids are around, they really enjoy it. We usually do different things, maybe try to go on a vacation. So to me, it's really neat. But just keep in mind now, you got this winter break, and that marks like the middle of the school year. First semester is behind them, and then we'll be heading into the second semester. And then lastly, we've got spring break. Spring break is gonna be from March 9th to March 13th. You've also got the weekends on the end, and typically families here schedule some type of vacation for spring break. In addition to these major breaks that we just talked about, school is also closed for most major holidays as well, including Labor Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and also President's Day. Now, there are also some random shorter half days throughout the school year that we need to talk about. So let's dive into that. Let's talk about how these shorter days are going to work throughout the school year. First of all, the first day of the school year and the last day of the school year are going to be half days, like I discussed earlier. And that's really just so the kids can ease into their new routine and ease out. Now, if you have an elementary age student, they are going to have 11 different days throughout the school year where they are going to get released 2 hours earlier. So if you're somebody that works at a job and you have a pretty tight schedule, you're going to want to make sure you get these dates on your calendar. If you have a middle or a high school student, they are going to have 27 different Mondays throughout the school year where they are going to start 45 minutes later. Now, the reasoning behind all this is so that the teachers have some time throughout the year to be able to complete administrative tasks such as grading papers and reports and essays, and also time for some professional development as well. So now that we've talked about how our kids are going to basically interrupt our Zoom calls and ruin our days throughout the school year, let's talk about how we are going to track their progress throughout the school year. The school year is going to be divided into 4 different grading periods so you can track your child's progress throughout the year. The first is going to end on October 3rd. The second is going to end right before that long winter break on December 18th. Hopefully, at this point, your child is doing well and they have good grades, so they can get a lot of Christmas presents and gifts from you. The third quarter is going to end on March 6th, right before spring break. And then lastly, the fourth quarter will end on May 21st at the end of the school year. So during this time, your child will receive a report card for each period. And like I said, hopefully they're tracking well and doing a good job. Some kids learn quicker than others, so parents, try to be patient. So obviously, a lot of your child's progress is gonna be dependent on how good of a job the teachers do, right? So let's talk about how Williamson County supports the teachers' development throughout the school year. I think that we can all agree that teachers are basically superheroes, right? And because of that, Williamson County gives them plenty of time throughout the year to prepare. When you look at the school calendar, you are going to see some days that are going to say no students. These are days set aside for the teachers to either do training, do some administrative duties, or just get their classrooms prepared for what's to come. Professional development is a really big deal, and it's something that we want to make sure our teachers have time to do. So therefore, Williamson County makes sure that they set aside time for them to do so. Some examples are going to be late July, before school starts, October 31st, and February 14th. But either way, Williamson County is making sure that our teachers are trained and ready to go for our crazy kids when they come into the school. And now let's talk about how you as a parent can get involved without totally embarrassing your kids. As you know, parents play a very important role in their child's education. It's very important that you as a parent be there to support and encourage your child along the way. And to do that, you need to make sure that you're up to speed with their progress, that you know how they're doing. So Williamson County recognizes this, and because of that, they have a parent-teacher conference window set up between September 15th and October 30th. During this time, your child's teacher is going to reach out to you and set up a time for you to come by and meet with them in person to talk about your child's progress. You can come with any questions you have for the teacher, and they will talk to you about your child and give you a good up-to-date report card, we'll call it, on how your child is progressing. So this is really important, and as a parent, it gives you a way to be involved and really understand how your child's doing, which I think is really awesome. Now, let's move on to something that every parent likes to keep an eye on, and that's snow days. Tennessee weather can be unpredictable. So because of that, snow days are a coin toss. You just never know. Anywhere from, let's say, late October through March, there's the possibility that we could get a snowstorm. Now, in saying that, generally we only get maybe 1 or 2 what we would call significant snowstorms during that time period. And because of that, Williamson County Schools has 10 inclement weather days built into the school calendar. Now, if for some reason we were to get this like Arctic blast and this crazy long snowstorm and go past those 10 days, they might have us do some makeup days either during one of the breaks, or they might tack it on to the end of the school year. I've never seen that done with my kids yet, but let's just say it's a possibility if that happens. For all you families that have graduating high school seniors, graduation occurs between the last day of school on May 21st and May 24th. I understand that this is a very important time for you and your child, so just make sure you take the time to enjoy it, celebrate, take lots of photos, and embrace that moment. All right, that's a wrap. That's what a typical school year looks like here in Williamson County, Tennessee. Now, if you're thinking about making the move here to Williamson County and you'd like to find out what the best neighborhoods are for you and your family, I'd love to help you. My name is Matt Bogosian, and I'm a real estate agent here in Williamson County. If you click the link down in the description, that will lead you to my calendar, and you can pick a day and time that works best for you for us to jump on a call and talk about your options. Thank you so much for watching, and welcome to Williamson County, Tennessee.